What's the deal? What's the deal? What's going on? What's the deal? What's going on? Let some of y'all get up in here real quick before we get started. Get started. Make sure you hitting that like button when you come through. Make sure you hitting that like button when you come through. Don't forget to hit the like button. It's very important to go ahead and hit that like button. But appreciate everybody that's coming through, man. Let some of y'all fall in here real quick. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it started, you know what I'm saying? See me let's see some of y'all get up in here real quick. And let me know how it's going. Let me know how y'all Friday going. What's the deal? What y'all got playing? What y'all got playing? I know y'all planning to watch some Texans on Sunday. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. But let some of y'all get through. Hey, I see some people falling in here. Make sure you hitting that like button when you come through. Very important. What's up? What's up? What's up, 15? What's good? What's good? Good. Let some of y'all get up in here real quick with the quickness. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? But y'all getting ready for this weekend. Got some good college football coming out too. But hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna fake it. I ain't gonna fake it. I ain't really even worried about college football right now. Too busy with worry about what these Texans gonna do. Ready to get this. Hey, hey, Sunday's very important, man. We in a whole different situation that we haven't been in the last 3 years. We haven't been we haven't been in situations since 2019. So what 2020, 2021, 2022? Yeah, the last 3 seasons we went in this situation. When now going forward, every single game matters. Every single game matters for the Houston Texans. Like you can't afford the hiccup. Um, yeah, every game matters now. You exactly right, man. Every game matters. You can't afford to hit. Hey, but I see some more people coming in here. But the like button ain't going to. Make sure you hit that like button, man. Go ahead, make sure you hit that like button. It's very important to hit that like button, man. Very important to hit the like button up. But yeah, like yes, going forward, everything is important now. Every not every victory, well every victory, but every single game is definitely important, man. So Spitz, keep doing your thing, bro. I want to say positive. I want to stay positive, but being how college is mobile, I feel like. Man, like, I mean, we gonna see exactly what Colin brings. I didn't get a chance. I think did the Arizona win. I think Arizona won last week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not even sure if Arizona won last week. I know Colin came back. I remember seeing that like earlier last week, like before the week even got to last Sunday, that Colin was supposed to be playing. So I think Colin played Sunday. I don't even know how he did. I don't even. I feel like they won, but I'm not even all the way. Like I'm not even all the way sure that they even won the game. Honestly, uh, I really was. I really wasn't dialed in on the Cardinals. To know if they won or not. Um, this is the thing. This is the deal. Yes, will quarterback like Kyler Murray, no matter how y'all feel about Kyler Murray, no matter if you like Kyler Murray, don't like Kyler Murray is a dangerous quarterback, and you can end up losing to a team with Kyler Murray quarterback in the opposite side. I mean, he got a couple little weapons, little receivers, and things like that. So especially with how our secondary has played well at times, and also sometimes have gave up some plays and gave up some moments and had some lapses. Don't know exactly how Stingley's going to look coming back after that game. You know, after him looking like he wasn't ready and prepared to play last week, and just didn't look like he was ready in my opinion. And then also Steven Nelson, who didn't start the game, who you was being very cautious with him. We're gonna see exactly how that works. I forgot. I don't know if Steven Nelson's out. I know I seen that Noah Brown is out still. Noah Brown is going to be out this week, so we get back Nico, but we lose Noah Brown after Noah Brown had 2 dominant weeks of football. But with a quarterback like CJ, it really don't even matter because what it seems like is that as long as you got number 7 out there, you're gonna be able to make plays, and you're gonna get play. Everybody is going to be able to make plays, and every week it's somebody else. If it's Nico, if it's Tank, if it's Robert Woods, if it's Nico, if it's Noah Brown, if it's Dalton Schultz. Hopefully this week it'll be Tank and Nico. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we get to see some Mechie, and some Xavier Hudson, things like that. Hopefully these guys can finally step up. Texans come out there with the gonna be wearing the Bow red helmets, the red helmets. but with the color rush jersey. So can't wait to see that. Definitely glad they playing the color rushes, so that way they can go and actually make the color rushes available for CJ and Willie Anderson, because I tried to go get a color rush CJ and I couldn't because they don't have them. So I've been waiting on that. So I've been waiting on that. So hopefully now that he's officially playing in said jersey on Sunday, hopefully by next week they'll have him ready so I can go ahead and give me one. Most definitely want to give me a color rush CJ Stroud jersey, especially before they end up changing the jersey. I know some people might think it might make no sense to go ahead and buy these players' jerseys now while they still in the old jersey. I think it's actually the perfect thing because you're getting they rookie year jersey. Like from now on going forward, wherever jerseys that we wear going forward, like whatever the new designs of jerseys, how they look, that's going to be tied to the Houston Texans. That's going to be tied to C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell and Willie Anderson and all these guys and whoever else we bring in going forward. Those jerseys are going to be tied to them. Those are going to be, when you think of those jerseys, those are players you're going to be thinking about. So the jerseys they're wearing now, especially for guys like Tank and CJ, you getting the rookie. It's like a baseball card. Like you got the rookie edition card, you got their rookie card. Like these jerseys are going to be their rookie jerseys. So no matter how this rookie season ends, this jersey is going to be synonymous with their rookie season. So I think that really is. Well, I think it should be the opportunity you should take to be able to get these jerseys, because whenever these jerseys are available, I think you should be able to take the time to get these jerseys and then go out next year and get the new jerseys. I feel like that's what you should do. But anyway, that's just my little 2 cents on that. But yeah, they are wearing the color rush jerseys with the battle red helmets. So I know a lot of people have been anticipating that, been wanting that, want to see how that looks. I'm actually glad it's more the color rush and not the regular jerseys, because there's not enough red in the regular jerseys. I think to match that helmet, I think the helmet will look weird with the regular Texans jersey. It's obviously it goes with the battle red jersey. It probably will go with the white jersey, especially if they wore the red pants with the white jersey. Like they wear the red pants with the white jersey and the red helmets, it definitely would go. I don't think it would have went with the blue jersey. Maybe if they would have wear the red pants with it, maybe, but I don't know. But like them wearing the blue jersey, white pants, and red helmet, I just think that'd be tacky. Cause I never liked the fact that they had wore the red helmet, the regular blue helmet, the red jersey, and the white pants. I always thought if you're gonna do that, make them pants red and make them pants blue. Like don't wear the white pants with that, because that to me it's 3 different colors. It just didn't make any sense to me personally, but I digress. But the color rush jerseys have the red numbers and not just the red outline numbers. The numbers themselves is red. So I think also the lettering, like the last names, and also the word Texans in red too. So I think it should be able to match. I want to see how it looks in person. I've seen pictures. I ain't gonna lie, like the edits, okay, but I want to see how it actually looks in actual game time, how it actually looks for real. So I do want to see how that is. But like I said, the Arizona Cardinals, don't take them lightly. Don't take them lightly. Don't sleep with them. Don't sneeze at it. This team definitely can catch the Texans slipping if the Texans choose to keep slipping. Because we know that was the whole notion after the draft, that the Texans, because the Texans Texans traded up to go get Willie Anderson. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about that a couple times in this game on Sunday. That the Texans traded up with the Arizona Cardinals for the 3rd pick in the draft to take Willie Anderson. That they were going to be the Texans was going to be giving Arizona the 2nd and number 1 pick. The Arizona will probably have the number 1 pick, and then the Texans will be giving them the 2nd pick. Never believed that. Never thought the Texans would be. I never thought the Texans would be that bad to be a top 5 team, especially the 2nd worst team in football. I didn't think that. Even if I didn't expect them to make the playoffs, I just didn't feel like that. So I always thought that was stupid. And also, I never thought that Arizona would be the worst team in football either. Like, I knew Kyler Murray was eventually going to be coming back. I got it if they thought Kyler Murray wasn't going to play none of the season, but I knew Kyler Murray was going to eventually come back, and Kyler Murray is going to win you a couple games. Like Kyler Murray's going to win you by himself. I think Kyler Murray can come in and win 3 games this season. I'm pretty sure like as long as they was able to win a game or 2 without him, I think they only won 1 game without him. But still, if he wins 3 and they've already won one that's 4 wins, that kind of takes you out having the number like to have the number 1 pick. You really can't win no more than 2 games. Like 2 games, like 2 to 3 games is the like 3 games is the max. If you winning over 3 games, you're not having number 1 pick. If the worst team in football has more than 4 wins, that means pretty much everybody got a close record then. To be honest with you, because normally when you see the worst team in football, the number 1 overall pick normally has 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins max. I don't even think I've ever, not in recent memory, can remember a team having the first pick in the draft and having the first pick of the draft and having 4 wins, 4 or more wins. I remember a year when the Titans had 2 wins and the Titans had 2 wins and they had the second pick of the draft. That still wasn't enough to give them the first pick of the draft. I think it was the year they drafted Mariota. They had the second pick in the draft. They had only 2 wins the previous year, if I'm not mistaken. Like Tampa either had 2 wins or had 1 win. I can't remember. I know obviously Tampa had the first pick. They drafted James. But I see more people jump in here. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through, man. Make sure it's very, very important to hit that like button when you come through. Definitely appreciate that. But so I never got that notion. So I never got that notion that saying that Arizona was going to be one of the worst teams in football to have the number 1 overall pick or a top 3 pick by themselves. Now I think they could be a top 5, definitely top 10, even when Colin Murray came back. But I didn't think they were going to be the worst team or the second worst team in football. But all that being said is I feel like the Cardinals can win a game. So you have to be on your toes. You can't take them lightly. You can't just go, you just went out there, you just walked, you just went inside Cincinnati, beat the Bengals. And we just seen what happened to them last night against the Ravens, especially losing Joe Burrow. But even without losing Joe Burrow, losing that game, I think those things actually are relative because I feel like if Joe Burrow would have played that game fully healthy, I think they actually beat the Ravens. But the fact that he got hurt, part of the reason why they lost, and the fact that they lost and he's hurt, they're 5-5. I think they're like 1-5 in the conference. No divisional wins. 0-3 in the division. Their chances of them getting to the playoffs are very, very slim now. When you talk about the Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh, both sitting at 6-3 right now. Now I know Cleveland has just lost Deshaun Watson, and more likely that's going to make Cleveland dip as well. But Cleveland, I think, has already beaten the Browns. It's already beaten the Bengals once already, and they already got 2. They're already 2 back. The Wichita's already 2 back with them in the loss column. So even if Cleveland loses to Pittsburgh on Sunday, which I think is going to happen, there's still a game back in the loss column, and as of right now, they have the tiebreaker over the Bengals until they play again. So I think both those teams will probably balance themselves out, and it looks like they even with the Deshaun Watson injury, it looks like it still will favor Cleveland. Still has the ball in their court, so to speak, because of they've already beaten them, and they also have a better record, like by a couple games. It's not just it's a tie record; they have a better record by a couple games. So they're already sitting in a better position. Obviously, Pittsburgh, even with Kenny Pickett being their quarterback, which is amazing, they're 6-3, and then they're sitting up there with a better record as well. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, have they beaten them yet? I don't think they played them yet. I don't think Pittsburgh has played the Bengals yet. So obviously that can balance itself out. So if Burrow comes back, then that Burrow comes back, things are different. But without Burrow, it kind of it's probably more likely they're not going to make the playoffs if Burrow's gone for a significant amount of time. But if Burrow comes back within the next week, they probably still can salvage their season, but still kind of slim to nothing. But saying all that, you don't want to go out there and just beat the Bengals, and then we already know next week is probably the game that might more likely decide the division. You don't want to look ahead. You don't want to be like what Cincinnati was doing and looking ahead to the Bengals, or what the Ravens possibly was doing and look what the Ravens possibly doing and look ahead to the Bengals on Thursday night. You don't want to be looking ahead to the Jags because, oh man, we've already beaten the Jags. If we beat the Jags again, we swept them. We'll have the same record or possibly a better record than them. Oh man, the division is in our control. You don't want to think like that. Now, as fans, we could sit up here and think like that. We could definitely sit up here and think like that. But the Texans themselves, you cannot think like that, because if you think like that, a quarterback like Colin Murray can walk inside NRG which is home for him because he's from Texas. And I would never lost a game in the state of Texas. Even as an Arizona Cardinal, he's like I think he's like I think he's like 2-0 in the state of Texas. Yeah, like you don't want to put yourself in that type of situation where Kyler Murray can come in inside NRG and beat you. You don't want to put yourself in that situation, not at all, not the slightest. That's not what you want to do. You do not want to put yourself in that type of situation. So what you want to do, what you gotta do, what you need to do, you gotta take care of business. Versus Arizona Cardinals versus Kyler Murray, you gotta take care of business. You just got like you from this going forward. You gotta take care of business. I just seen somebody say that the Texans gotta win out. The Texans don't have to win out, but it's in their best interest to. Now, where things start to open up some is like if you beat Arizona and the Jags lose to the Titans, and the Texans go out and beat Jacksonville. Now you swept Jacksonville. You have you swept Jacksonville. You have a game ahead of them as well. Like your record is better than them, and then not only that, like so really, when having a better record than them, and you also have the tiebreaker, the sweep is really like a 2-3 game lead on them because they have to have a better record than you to win, just to be in a place for the division because you've beaten them head to head. So they have to have a better record. So you have a better record, and you also have the tiebreaker. So that kind of gives you some wiggle room to maybe drop a certain game. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere along the season. I don't recommend that. I especially don't recommend a line thinking, but just putting it out there because there's a situation that the Texans could actually be leading the AFC South after Sunday on Sunday. If you beat the Arizona Cardinals and the Titans beat the Jags, the Texans would the Texans and the Jags had the exact same record. The Texans and the Jags had the exact same record, and the Texans had the tiebreaker because they beat them head to head already. Now, all that could be for naught the following week because you have to play them again head to head, and then you don't want to get in a situation because once you split with them, you don't want to get in a situation where you split with them because then now it goes to now the next tiebreaker will be conference. Okay, well they will have the next tiebreaker will be division. I'm sorry, they will and divisionally that will put you at 1-2 because you beaten them but you lost to the Colts and then you lost to them and that will put them at 3-1. Well, actually, no, I'll put them at 3-2. Yeah, they'll put them at 3-2 in the division if they lose to the Titans because they swept the Colts and they've lost to you. So they're right now they're 2-1. By Sunday they'll either be 3-1 or 2. They'll either be 3-1 or 2-2, and then obviously you'll change whatever when you play them the following week. But if you beat them, all that doesn't matter because you have the complete tiebreak over them. You have the head-to-head sweep of them. So whatever they do in the division, whatever they do in the conference, compared to you, no longer matters because they have to have a full-fledged better record than you. But you gotta take care of your business though. You have to take care of your business. Like just point blank period. You gotta take care of your business and what you gotta do. So I'm saying don't look forward, don't look ahead. But there is a situation where the Texans could be leading the AFC South come Sunday night. If you beat the Arizona Cardinals and they lose to the Tennessee Titans, so you're gonna be at the so you actually want the Titans to beat the Jags no matter what. No matter what happens in your Arizona game, because that still helps you out. Even if you lose to the Cardinals, if you lose to the Cardinals and they lose, and the Jags lose to the Titans, that still puts them a game back. But what that does now, that opens the door for the Colts because that'll put the Colts at 5-5. I mean, the Colts are already 5-5. That'll put you at 5-5. Same thing, tiebreaker. The Colts will always be ahead of you as long as y'all have the same record until the last game of the season, because you can't rectify that to the last game of the season. You can't rectify that until the last game of the season. So that's another reason why you cannot let the Colts back in this. Because right now you have a better record than the Colts. Right now you have a better record than the Colts. They have 5 losses, you got 4 losses. So y'all are tied. Right now it's a half a game. You have a half a game lead over the Colts because y'all have the same wins, but they have more losses because you've had your bye week. I think the Colts on the bye week this week, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the week for their bye. That situation right there. that situation that helps you out. So what you need to do is go ahead and take advantage of that because they already have their fifth loss, and make sure that you win to keep having the, like if you win Sunday now you have a full game ahead of the Colts because again you can't rectify that with the Colts until the last game of the season. Now you can handle your business versus the Jags next week, but don't look ahead there. But that will be able to happen next week. And same thing with the Titans. The Titans won't be till late on the season. The Titans you play them 2 of the last 4 weeks of the season. You play them. I know the last game is at home on New Year's Eve. And that's the game. That's the second to last game of the season, right before you play the Colts, right before you go to Indy. Because it's like the last 4 games is at Tennessee. The last 4 games of the season is at Tennessee, home against the Cleveland Browns, home against the Titans, and then at in Indianapolis to finish off the season. That Cleveland Brown game, especially after Cleveland won last week, made it very, very interesting. But the injury with Deshaun Watson, I think, takes a lot of steam out of that because I think by the time that the Cleveland Browns come, by the time that Christmas Eve, because I think the game's on Christmas Eve, by the time that game comes, I don't think Cleveland is going to be in the situation like they're in right now. Obviously, they won't be 6-3. I don't think they'll be. I think Cleveland will actually find their way out of the division, as far as the NFC North, and possibly more likely be finding their way out of the playoffs. Like them losing Deshaun Watson helps Buffalo get back in the mix. It helps Buffalo get back in the mix. Possibly the Chargers, possibly the Jets as well keeps them in the mix. Even the Raiders. Now the Raiders are 5-5. Like the Raiders, Colts, Bills. They're all 5-5 right now. So a lot of these teams are actually sitting up there like basically in the mix. That's why the Texans got to win because luckily you've had your bye week, so you only got 5 wins too, but you got your bye week as well. You gotta win some games to keep your head above float. Now the thing that helps you out is you're about to face the Jets. You have a better conference record than the Bills. Then you beat the Bengals head to head. You got better conference record than the Bills, better conference record than the Raiders, better conference record than the Chargers. Like the only teams in the AFC that got a better conference record than you is the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins. Everybody else, you have a better, as it stands right now, you have a better conference record. So that's why the Texans have a lot of control on what they do. They got control over wild card and also in the division. They got to take care of business. That's the most important thing. You got to take care of your business. You just got to. I just realized the AFC North got weaker since Ravens lost Mark Andrews, Bengals lost Joe Burrow, Watson lost, and Steelers. You're right. Steelers defense is pretty much winning tag, and I forgot about that. I actually just seen that earlier today about Mark Andrews being out for the season, and that does, but they still got their quarterback. That's the most. Like both the Bengals and the Browns have lost their quarterback. At the very least, the Ravens still have their quarterback. They still got Lamar Jackson. So even though he's lost his biggest weapon, they still have him. And as long as they still got him, who's a former MVP, as long as they still got him, I think they can keep their head above float. And I think they'll be better than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh seems like the only the one team that I thought in that division had no chance of even making the playoffs. I'm like, I don't see a way for them to make the playoffs. Mike Tomlin is just that good of a head coach. I think Kenny Pickett's trash. I think he's one of the worst quarterbacks in football, especially in the AFC. I think he's trash, especially in the conference that's loaded with quarterbacks. Which I have a running joke. I've been saying that on behalf of the AFC, we are no longer taking quarterback applications. All quarterback applicants apply for NFC jobs because the AFC is full, like with all the quarterbacks in the AFC. But Pittsburgh is a team that definitely could use a quarterback. I don't think like Pittsburgh and the Raiders. I think the Titans will eventually find out that they need a quarterback. The Jets. Yeah, those teams definitely. Those teams definitely need quarterbacks. But we're not taking no applications for quarterbacks right now. We are full. The applicants is full. Go to the NFC. Go apply for the Seattle and the 49ers because I know a lot of people like Brock Purdy, but I think they will benefit with a quarterback. The Vikings, the Chicago Bears, the possibly Green Bay Packers, the Commanders, Tampa Bay. the Falcons, the Saints, the Giants. Like like outside of outside of Philly and Dallas, I know Carolina drafted Bryce Young, and and I believe Arizona. I think Arizona should keep Kyler Murray. I think everybody else need a quarterback. Detroit, but I think Detroit's good with golf though. Honestly, I think they're good with golf. Everybody else, y'all need to start applying for quarterbacks. Y'all need some quarterbacks in those conferences. But anyway, like I said, the Texans got to handle business. They just definitely do. Like I said, the talk for CJ being MVP is starting to ramp up. I definitely agree with Darren Orlovsky. Like before, I was saying yeah, CJ should at least be in the conversation. Like definitely should be. He doesn't hurt to be in the conversation, but looking like. Not just to be in the conversation, he got a real shot of winning this thing. You be looking like because you look at his numbers, you look at what he's doing, you like, bro, this dude really is the MVP. If this anybody else, if you put these exact same numbers on Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, you put these numbers on anybody else, you're saying that they're the MVP, bro. You're saying that they're the MVP. This notion of saying that he's a rookie, I think that's the most stupid. I mean, unless it's in the rule books, which is not, because Jim Brown has won the MVP. Like it should be. It should be. It shouldn't matter that he's a rookie. I know people say, well, if it shouldn't matter to be a rookie, they don't got in the rule books about non-quarterbacks winning the MVP award, but non-quarterbacks don't win it. That's a little bit different. We ain't seen a non-quarterback win the MVP since 2012. It's 11 years ago. Sorry. We ain't seen one win one since 2012. That's 11 years ago. It's the last time, and they don't even be close. They normally just give them Offensive Player of the Year. They don't be close. Like rookie quarterbacks or rookies in general have never been in the conversation. When's the last time a rookie legitimately was in the conversation for an MVP? It hasn't happened. I think they said Dak might have got a vote or two or something like that back in 2016. Maybe. I know that's what Skip likes to say. Cause Skip's like when they talk about he's not even gonna say greatest rookie season ever, because he says he's thinking about RG3 and about Dak Prescott. And if you look at Dak Prescott numbers, like him and CJ both got the same amount of touchdowns. Well, actually, no, like him and CJ have the same amount of interceptions with 2. Dak has one more from a total touchdown from both running and throwing. Dak has one more. CJ has more yards. And I think Dak has a better completion percentage throughout the same amount of games. The difference is Dak Prescott, even though Dak Prescott I think at that time was like only had one loss maybe, Dak had a loaded team. Dak had a team that was built around him for Tony Romo. That team had championship aspirations. That team thought they were going to win a championship before Tony Romo got hurt. They had the best offensive line football, one of the best offensive line. Like they had a top 15 offensive line of all time in their 2016 season. Like that offensive line was scary good. Best offensive line in the league, like I said, top 15 all time. And then had the NFL's lead rusher, which is a product of them having that top 5, having the best offense in the league at that time, and the top 15 offensive line of all time. That's why you had the lead rusher. You weren't asking Dak to do a lot, and they had a decent defense. This difference with CJ is the main force. How CJ goes, how the Texans go. If CJ has a bad game, by golly, the Houston Texans are going to lose. Look at Carolina. Look at Arizona. I mean, not Arizona. Look at Carolina. Look at Atlanta. If he has a bad game, by golly, they're going to lose. If he has a great game, by golly, the Houston Texans are going to win. Look at the Jazz game. Look at the Pittsburgh game. Look at the Tampa Bay game. If he has a great, phenomenal game, the Texans are going to win. If he has a subpar, mediocre game, more than likely the Texans are going to lose, or the Texans might look if they win. So the game and team goes where CJ goes. Not to mention what his numbers is doing is unprecedented, and the team is winning behind it. Like it also, like I said, I forgot what the Cowboys' record was the year before. I think they did end up picking top 5 because they picked Zeke top 5, so they did have a bad record the previous year, but the team was built to win games. I think the part of the reason why they ended up losing the many games they lost the previous year, I think Romo missed time if I'm not mistaken. But that team was that team definitely was definitely built to win. I see more people jump in. Make sure you hit that like button when y'all come through. Definitely appreciate that. So you definitely got to say that's a different situation, especially when it comes to CJ Stroud. Like I said, the team goes where CJ Stroud goes, and I believe that CJ Stroud is the rookie of the year without question, and I feel like he should be leading the race for MVP because part ain't gonna lie, part of the reason is there's really nobody taking the league by storm. Like going into last night's game, like Lamar Jackson had just as many turnovers as he had touchdowns. So just because his team had a winning record made him the MVP? No, like when you turn football over at that position and you're not scoring touchdowns, I think he got the same going into the game. He had the same many passing touchdowns as Matt Jones has. So no. Same thing with Kansas City and Mahomes. Mahomes ain't looking like Mahomes don't really look like they not like. I ain't saying they're winning in spite of Mahomes because they still win because of Mahomes, but Mahomes is not looking like Patrick Mahomes as Denver. Like remember that Denver game? Like Mahomes played horrific, probably his worst brand of football. Josh Allen leads the league in turnovers. Joe Burrow just got hurt, and before then, I mean, I guess you could put him in a situation because once he got healthy, started rolling, and they started winning, which is kind of goes to the MVP, the MVP argument, most valuable player argument. But they had the same record, and he beat them head to head. And also, I think he's already had to use college football term. He's already had his Heisman moment twice. I think his biggest Heisman moment is the game-winning touchdown against Tampa Bay. 46 seconds driving the football down the field to get a touchdown in 40 seconds, throwing 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, breaking the rookie record for the most passing yards in the game, tying the most rookie touchdowns thrown in the game. I think that was his Heisman moment, to use a college football term. That was his Heisman moment. And then he follows it up the following week with another game-winning drive, even though this time it didn't end in a touchdown, it ended in the field goal. And also, you kind of did put yourself in that situation because you did have a 10-point lead when you threw a pick. If you don't throw a pick, if you throw a completion right there, you ice the game. The game is over. You leave out Cincinnati at best with a 7-point lead, but more than likely you're in that game with a 10-point lead against the. At worst, I'm sorry. At worst, you leave that game with a 7-point lead, and if not, more than likely leave it with a 10-point win. So you don't kind of really get credit for putting yourself in a bad position, and that's really what what they did. That's really what CJ Stroud did in that standpoint. So that's really what he did in that standpoint. So we'll see exactly we'll see exactly what how it goes. But Mahomes is a different conversation. Not this year. We talking about MVPs. We're not talking about greatest quarterback of all time. No, this year everybody is able to be critiquing. Mahomes has not been playing well this year. Like Mahomes hasn't been playing well this year. He's been playing good enough for them to win, but he hasn't been playing like Mahomes. He hasn't been out there looking like an MVP. If Mahomes got the MVP this year, as it stands right now, like if it stands right now, and Mahomes continues to play the way he plays, and they give him the MVP, they give him the MVP just because he's Mahomes. Just because he's Patrick Mahomes. So we're just going to give it to him. That's like, come on now. Because, it's kind of like that argument, LeBron James should win MVP every year that he played, every year he's played because he's the best player. Like, come on now. Like, no, we come on now. We talking about season. Who's having the best season? We talking about who's having the best. We talking about who's having the best season. Like, it's a seasonal award. It's not a career achievement award. It's a seasonal award. What's good, man? What's good, man? Go ahead, tune in. Make sure that like button when you tune in. Yeah, make sure everybody hit that like button. See more people jump in. Make sure that like button when y'all come through. Definitely appreciate that. Really, really need the like button. Definitely appreciate that. Hey, shout out to that boy Rue with the super chat, man. What's the deal, Spitz? Hey, man, what's the motherfucking deal? Appreciate you, bro, with the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that, man. But like I was saying though, when it comes to this season, like who's been playing better football at that position, and like I say, we know that award goes to position. We might as well just call it the most valuable quarterback award. Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of MVP, MVQB. Like that's what it should be called. It should be just called MVQB, and Offensive Player of the Year goes to any non-quarterback. Like that's a rule that they need to be made. There's a lot of rules that the NFL just need to go ahead and do. Personally, it's a lot of things I think they need to change up. Because a lot of it is common sense. A lot of stuff is that we already know and realize. Just change the rules so normal people can understand. Like just if you want to still call it MVP because every sport has MVP. Like there's MVP in baseball, MVP in basketball. Every sport has an MVP. If you just want to call it that, that's cool. Like that's cool. That's cool. It's cool to call it that, but definitely just treat it like how baseball treats pitchers. Only pitchers can win the Cy Young. Like in baseball, only pitchers can win the Cy Young. So that's really what the MVP award is. It's baseball. It's football's version of the Cy Young because basically, quarterbacks and pitchers are comparable from cross sports comparisons. They're the two that are the most comparable. So just treat it like that. It's the best quarterback award. So it's the best quarterback award. Offensive Player of the Year goes to the best non-quarterback offensive player. Defense Player of the Year goes to the best player on defense, obviously. Rookie of the Year, Defense Rookie of the Year, we all know how the rest of the things go. That makes the product better. And to me, personally, that makes the product better. Another thing that makes the product better as well is, like I said, about primetime games, because you have robbed yourself now. Now people want to watch and see C.J. Stroud. Because they hearing all this stuff and they seeing the stats like, man, he balling. The Texans had a game-winning drive. But you know what? Half of America, half of your football fans haven't got to see them play since he played in that playoff game in Ohio State against Georgia. That's the last time half of the country got to see him play. Because the Texans ain't on primetime. They haven't been on primetime none this year and not going to be on primetime none the rest of the year. But they got to see Bryce Young twice, though. They got to see Bryce twice. We got to see a what's his name? A non-drafted quarterback. But we ain't got to see him on prime time. We've been watching Zach Wilson on prime times 5 times this year. And he got some more prime time games coming up. We constantly watching Zach Wilson on prime time. Nobody wants to watch Zach Wilson on prime time. Jet fans don't even want to watch Zach. They don't want to watch Zach Wilson in practice, let alone watch him on prime time. Come on, man. That's the NFL's fault. What they should do, again, I understand like you're not gonna know what's going on the first couple weeks. So again, the first 3 to 4, maybe 5. I might can get you 5 weeks. When the schedule comes out, y'all have those Sunday night, Thursday night, Monday night games already packaged up. But after that, you need to go ahead for the rest of the season. Like, okay, hey, these are the prime time games. These are the prime time slots. These are the games that's coming up that week. Okay, since what's his name? Jeff Bezos paid so much money for them to get the prime time on Thursday night. You got first priority. You get to pick up what game you want. Boom, okay, I want this game. Boom, I want this game. I want this superstar. I want to see Patrick Mahomes. I want to see Joe Burrow. I want to see Lamar Jackson. I want to see C.J. Stroud. I want to see whoever. You get to do that. The Titans got multiple primetime games. The Titans got a Monday night game coming up pretty soon. Who wants to watch Will Levis on primetime? They already we just got to watch him on Thursday night. Now we got to watch him on Monday Night Football. Who wants to watch Will Levis? Seriously. Who wants to watch Will Levis? Please raise your hand. With a real Slim Shady, please stand up. Like, make these rules going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and make these rules going forward. That's gonna help your product out a lot. It's gonna stop confusion. and people get to watch at the very least the best stars in the game, if not just the best teams, man. Like, come on, it's very easy, man. It's very easy. And man, shout out to OG713 for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. He has the best start from yards. He has the best start from yards to TDs to interception ratio, and he has the weakest weapons about all top 5 QBs. Yeah, you're right. He definitely does. Like, from his touchdown interception ratio, he got 15 passing touchdowns, 17 total touchdowns. He got 2 rushing touchdowns, but 15 passing touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Now we had the 17. We had the 17 total touchdowns. He also has I think he had 6 turnovers because he had 2 fumbles last week and he had 2 fumbles. He had fumble in week 1 and a fumble in week 2. So that's 4 fumbles and 2 picks. So he had 17 touchdowns, 17 total touchdowns and 6 total turnovers. Even though one of those fumbles shouldn't have counted, but I digress. So you do have that standpoint of it. You do have that standpoint of it. Yards. He leads the NFL in yards. It's not just that it's not just yards. It's not he has the highest yards. He leads the whole league in yards right now. He's second behind Sam Howell, but Sam Howell's had a whole game, and Sam Howell has less than 100 yards than him, and Sam Howell's had a whole extra game. So more than likely, CJ Stroud will be the. I think they're on their bye week this week. More than likely, CJ Stroud will lead the league in passing by the end of this week, unless somebody just goes super crazy. Like if somebody has a 500-yard performance that's underneath him, and CJ doesn't have a good performance. CJ has like 100. If CJ has like a performance like he had against the Bengals, not the Bengals, but had a performance they had against the Panthers or against the Falcons where he only had like 100 and some yards. If CJ throws for at least 200 yards on Sunday, he should be leading the league in passing unless somebody just goes crazy and breaks some records type situation. I don't know exactly who's directly behind him. I know I think Josh Allen is right behind him. I think Josh Allen's the nearest person, but Josh Allen's on a bye week. So hey, and shout out to boy Rue once again with the super chat love. We no more Lexans. Rue said we winning by 20. No more Lexans. Shout out Rue for the super chat, man. I hope so, bro. I hope so. I hope so. I hope it is a convincing win. I want us to win, but I also want because I want CJ to make it abundantly clear that he's the MVP. I mean, when's the last time we've had? I ain't want to say quarterback, just any player in the MVP conversation for the Houston Texans. 2014 with J.J. Watt. And I think J.J. finished second behind Aaron Rodgers. I believe J.J. should have won the MVP that year, honestly. I think Aaron Rodgers. Shouldn't have won MVP. Okay, you got #4. You talking about number 4 as the quarterback number 4, or you talking about J.J. finished 4th? I'm gonna let you answer that before I elaborate on. But Jay, I feel like Jay should have won MVP. That's the last time that we've had a player in the MVP conversation. And then before that, I don't think we've ever had a player in. I don't think Stroud was ever in the MVP conversation. Maybe he could have been started to in 2011 when we were 7-3 that we getting hurt. Who won the MVP that year? I don't remember who won the MVP in 2011. I don't remember who won the MVP in 2011. I know 2012 was Adrian Peterson. He rushed for 2,000 yards. 13 was Peyton Manning because that's when he broke the record at the time. Well, actually, I think that is still the record for the most passing yards in the season and most passing touchdowns. No, Watson was never in the MVP. I thought that's what you meant. No, Watson was never in the MVP conversation legitimately. Like maybe Texan fans, uh, um, maybe we feel like that he was should be in the MVP conversation. Uh, Watson was never in the MVP conversation legitimately. I know in 2012, I mean not 2012. I'm sorry. In 2020, the year he led the league in passing, uh, I know we were saying if Deshaun got the Texans to the playoffs after starting off 0-4, especially after that Thanksgiving game when we got our fourth win. I forgot what the record was at the time at Thanksgiving. If which was the last win by the Texans, by the way, in 2020. If we would have won out, then maybe Deshaun should have been put in the MVP conversation. But Deshaun wasn't realistically in the MVP conversation. Like I said, with fans he was, but not nationally. He was never legitimately in the MVP conversation, even though he led the league in passing and led the league. He didn't lead the league in touchdowns. He led the league in passing. He didn't lead the league in touchdowns. Did he? Did he lead the league in touchdowns? I know he led the league in passing. I don't remember if he led the league in touchdowns. I know he was up there in touchdowns. I don't know if he led the league in touchdowns. He might have, actually, as I think about it, he might have led the league in touchdowns. It was either him or Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers might lead the league because Aaron Rodgers had crazy numbers. Like Aaron Rodgers won 2 MVPs back to back. He only threw he only threw like 5 touchdowns in 2 years. like Aaron Rodgers' touchdown interception ratio was crazy. Aaron Rodgers only threw like 6 touchdowns in a 2-year span. Like that, and that's really what won him the MVP those years. And then you also had Derrick Henry rushed for over 2,000 yards. Yeah, Derrick Henry rushed for over 2,000 yards. Like I said, Deshaun Watson wasn't really, and like both those teams won their division, got to the playoffs obviously and won their division. So was never realistically never realistically in the MVP conversation. And hey, shout out Big Guy for the super chat love. I believe if the Texans win the next 3 games, JJ will seriously consider returning to the Texans. JJ would consider returning to the Texans. Now I seen that. Man, this is the thing. For nostalgia, especially for him actually officially retiring as a Texan, I love it. I absolutely love it. Maybe possibly his only real legitimate shot to have some jewelry on his finger that he ain't paid for. You know what I'm saying? That he ain't had to get on the knee and ask somebody to be his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like to put a ring on his finger that doesn't have he's not with his wife, not marriage stipulations, actual real jewelry. I mean, I'm pretty sure they. Well, no, I think he lost the Rose Bowl. I think they got rings in college for their championship. But I think he lost the Rose Bowl. But did he win the Big Ten? We might win the Big Ten. I know that's going too deep in the weeds. Too deep in the weeds. See if he got like trophies and rings from college or in high school. But from an NFL standpoint, possibly a real legitimate shot. I don't know how much JJ actually benefits the Houston Texans. Honestly, I really don't. I don't know how much in shape he is. What he's been doing. I'm pretty. I mean, he's more in shape than the average person. Yeah, but is he enough? Is he JJ Watt in shape? He might be in shape more so than the average football player. But is he JJ Watt in shape? I doubt he's JJ Watt in shape. You know what I'm saying? I doubt he's JJ Watt in shape. Like I said, for nostalgia, for him to retire as a Texan, for him to for him to do it one more time for the city. I love that standpoint. Obviously, realistically, I don't know what he'll actually do on the field. Yeah, I know. Last year he had a bounce back year from his first year with the Cardinals and also probably his last year with the Texans. He had a very productive year. Bobby said, I really don't know how much he'll give you. I'm not even saying he'll be a liability. I just don't know how much he'll give you. I don't know how much of an impact he really will make. Like I don't know if you put him on the field right now in the middle of a season, Like, is he really impacting? He could. I'm not even discrediting saying that he's not. I just don't know. Like, I'm realistically, I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I believe he would be kind of like in the role he played in the 2019 season when he came back after tearing his pecs. And he came back after 8 weeks. After tearing his pecs, he came back 8 weeks. He became a situational pass rusher and made possibly the play that spark plugged us to come back against the Buffalo Bills, that sack on Josh Allen. Because if if Buffalo scores a touchdown there, we don't get the Deshaun Watson magic. We don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't get that. So put him in a situational pass rush move, a situational pass rusher could be good, and I think that's probably the more likely what he would be, because he couldn't be. I don't think he'll be on every down. He had to be a situational pass rusher. And who knows? To be honest, just him being on the field, as I sit back and think about it, him being on the field would definitely help out Willie Anderson, because I think the teams will see him and see his JJ, and at the very least, we'll try to make sure we stop 99. That's going to help free up Willie Anderson. That's going to help free up Jonathan Gennard or whoever else is on the field. Like, so I do believe that right there, that right there. Now, as I sit back and think about it, as I sit back and go back to the thinking thing, and just sit back and chill and think about it, that actually, gotta sit back and chill and go to the thinking thing. You know what I'm saying? Just go back to the thinking thing. Sit back and thinking about it. Like, you know what? Like, that would kind of really be, you know what I'm saying? That would be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Like I'm not saying that I don't expect him to come out there and be 20 sack plus JJ, the most dominant player in Texas history as a defensive player. I don't feel like that. I don't think that's going to be the case. But put him in the situational pass rusher, one or two things I think could end up happening. One, everybody's going to shift their attention to J.J. Watt. That's going to free up Willie Anderson and free up Jonathan Gennard, which is going to help bolster both of their confidence. Or two, they're going to say, oh, it's just J.J. Watt. He an old man. He an analyst at CBS. And J.J. Watt can make a couple plays. Maybe not make the same plays he made in 2011 and 2012 and 2013 and 2014 and 2017 and 2018 and 2020 and 2019, but make some plays here and there, or last year, make some plays. Like, I was never against it. Like don't get that twisted. I was never against it. I was like, I don't know how much of an impact he would really have. I don't think that. Like I said, because I don't feel like you're getting that version of J.J. Watt. You're not getting 20 sack, 17 and a half sack leader J.J. Watt, most dominant. But you're not getting all that. But you can't get a situational pass rusher, and you can't get a guy that can dictate the coverage or dictate the protection over and slide the protection on his side to free up the rest of his guys, and also a guy that can be hands-on in full-fledged practice, not just talking over the phone with text messages or coming up and pulling up when he getting his name in his jersey or putting the Ring of Honor, and you talking to Willie Anderson and Jonathan Gennard. You actually at practice with Jonathan Gennard and Willie Anderson, giving them the work. You actually going up against Tunsil and up in front of CJ as well, giving them the work. So yeah, those things I definitely feel like would be benefactors. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just, I don't know if when I was saying how much of an impact I was speaking from the 20 sack, 17 and a half sack guy who leads the league in TFLs and has more pass deflections than half the teams in the league. I'm talking about from that standpoint. I'm talking about defensive player of the year, the most dominant defensive player that we've seen in the last 15 years. So I was thinking about that. Well, actually, when they actually end up adding Aaron Donald, so him and Aaron Donald are the most dominant defensive players we've seen in the last couple of years. But I mean, I think it'd be cool. I mean, if he did come back, and like I said, the Texans, obviously that has the Texans win will constantly, quote unquote, give JJ the itch to come back out there and come out there and play football again. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully that is the case. I would love to see it. I would like to see it. I would. I definitely would like to see it. Like I said, I just didn't know exactly how much of an impact it would actually have, but definitely would like to see exactly how that dynamic would work and how it would go. But yeah, turn down for what? But like I was saying though about the MVP race, like, cause he is the last person that legitimately was in the race, like I said, in 2014. Yeah, 2014. Like I said, because Deshaun in 2018 and 2019, like Lamar Jackson was a unanimous MVP. He wasn't even close in 2019, and then 2020 same thing. I mean not 2020, but 2018 same thing. But Mahomes had over 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. And yeah, I know Texas had won 9 straight, but it took a while to get it going. Like, and Deshaun possibly could have been up for MVP consideration if he wouldn't have got hurt his rookie year and continued to play, because he put up he already has he has more touchdowns than CJ has already. Like CJ only has 17. So CJ only has 15 passing. Deshaun had 19 passing, and CJ had 17 total. And Deshaun, when rushing touchdowns, I'm pretty sure Deshaun had to have 3 rushing touchdowns. I know he had the rushing touchdown against the Titans. I know he had a rushing touchdown against the Bengals, that 50-yard touchdown, 49-yard touchdown, whatever it was. So he had those 2. And I feel like he had another rushing touchdown too. I feel like he had 3. So you're talking about 21, 22 total touchdowns. Then he also had way more interceptions and less yards than CJ too. So there is that. But yeah, like I said, 2012. Like I said, 2012, Stroud won in the race. Like I said, 2011, Stroud won in the race. 2009, Stroud won in the race. I can't think who was the MVP in 2009. Was 2009 Aaron Rodgers' first MVP? Or was 2011 his first MVP? I think 2011 was Aaron Rodgers' first MVP. Aaron Rodgers won 4 MVPs. He won in 2014, 2021, and 2022. No, 2020. I'm sorry, he won in 2020 and 2021. Because 2022 was last year, and that was Mahomes. And I'm trying to think. Aaron Rodgers' first MVP was either he won a Super Bowl in 2010. I feel like he won the MVP after he won the Super Bowl. I feel like he won the MVP in 2011. I want to say he won the MVP in 2011. I don't know who won it in 2009. Because 2009 was the year Matt Schaub led the league in passing, but I don't know who won the MVP in 2009. Was it Brady? No, Brady won in 07. Brady got hurt in 2008. Who won the MVP in 2009? Because it wasn't Peyton. That was the year Peyton didn't play. Peyton didn't play in 2009. No, I'm sorry, Peyton did play. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Peyton did play. That was 2011. Peyton didn't play. I'm sorry. Peyton didn't play in 2011. Who won the MVP in 2009 then? Was it Peyton? I feel like it was. It might have been Peyton in 2009. Because I think 2009, 2009 is the 2009. That's the year that the Colts lost to the Saints in the Super Bowl. So so it would have been Peyton. So it would have been Peyton. I don't remember Schaub. When Texas won 9 games, Texas won 9-7 that year and missed the playoffs. I don't remember Schaub ever in that conversation. Now I know Schaub led the league in passing. I think he had 29 touchdowns. Because Deshaun's the only person that had 30 touchdowns for the Texans throwing. So I think Schaub had 29. He either had 28 or 29. He had 4,770 yards, if I'm not mistaken, in 2009. And I think he had 29 touchdowns. It might have been 28. It's either 28 or 29. I know it wasn't 30. So it was either 1 shot from 30 or 2 shot from 30. I don't really know. Now, it wasn't Drew Brees. Drew Brees never won an MVP. Drew Brees has never won it. Drew Brees has never won an MVP. Brady won it in 2010. Could have been. Brady could have won in 2010. I Yeah, I don't remember Schaub being in the conversation. I don't remember anybody ever talking about Schaub back in 2009 being in the MVP conversation. Possibly because of the Texans record. Because what the Texans had to win the last, we went 9-7. The we we went 9-7. I'm trying to think because we won like the last like 4 games. Then off the season, we beat the Patriots the last game of the season. The Dolphin game, I think, was the game before that, and I think we had beat like the Rams in Seattle. So like it was like 4 games that we had win out that season. So like the Texans didn't have the Texans had like an okay record, but they had to win out to get those 9 wins. So at one point in time, they had 7 losses and like 6 wins. I feel like had to be. Actually had to be 5. They had to be 5-7. If they won the last 4, I feel like if they won the last 4, I know they won like the last 3. So at the very least, they were like at one point in time they were 6-7, if not 5-7, before they won out and end up being 9-7. So yeah, Shaw was never in the conversation. Like especially when I think about it like that from a record standpoint, he was never in the conversation because they had to have a losing record. They had at the very least at one point in time they had to be 6-7, if not 5-7, to even get to that point. So they had to have a losing record. So yeah, and like I said, and Peyton Manning, that year I think what the Colts win like 14-2. Because that's really the reason why the Texans missed the playoffs, because the Texans earlier that season had lost to Mark Sanchez in opening day to the Jets. So the Jets obviously had the tiebreaker, and the Jets had played the Colts, and the Colts already had clinched everything. They clinched home field advantage and everything. They were undefeated, and they were going for an undefeated record. And Tony Dungy, no, not Tony Dungy, the other black head coach, not Cable, what's his name? Because people was talking about the Texans getting them, after we fired Bill O'Brien. He was the offensive coordinator for the Colts. I can't think of his name. Black old school black dude. I can't think of his name. Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell had pulled his starters and pulled Peyton Manning, and the Jets ended up winning the game in Indianapolis. I'll never forget that because I was mad, because that right there allowed the Jets to continuously win, obviously, and put them in a situation where we both were 9-7, and they had the tiebreaker against us, so they went to the playoffs and we didn't. Texas should have went to the playoffs in 2009 when we had our first winning record, and we didn't get to go in. Schaub led the league in passing. I think Dre led the league in receiving yards. I think Wes Welcome led the league in catches, but I think Dre led the league in receiving yards. First winning record, and that was probably the Texans' best time. That and in 2014 was the 2 Texans' best time to actually get into the wild card, because Texans only made the playoffs as division winners. We've never made it as a wild card. That 2009 team could have made it as a wild card, but like I said, the whole Jet situation, and the same thing back in 2014. I think we needed the Ravens to lose to the Browns, and the Browns beat the Ravens on the last game of the season, and that's why we didn't make the playoffs in 2014, Bill O'Brien's first year. So. Shout out to that boy Trill for the super chat love. Definitely shout out to that boy Trill for the super chat love. Towards a Stroud jersey. Tragic. No more tragic gear. I'm not gonna read the rest of that. Why you gotta talk about D12 like that, man? Why you gotta talk about? See, that's why my thoughts on 12, man. Why you gotta do D12 like that, man? I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna let that man personal business be his personal business. I don't care what he do on and off the court. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care. He a grown man. He can do whatever he want. He a grown man. He can do whatever he want to do. I don't care. I really don't. Honestly, I really don't care what he does on or off. Well, I do on the court. But I don't care what we do off the court because I stand on this. And I don't care what nobody says. I know a lot of people know I'm a Magic fan. Some Magic fans in here too because some Magic fans in my channel. It's not debatable. Dwight Howard's the best Orlando Magic. As a Orlando Magic player, he's not the best person to ever wear the jersey. The best person to ever wear the jersey is Shaq. Like Shaq is the best player to ever wear the Orlando Magic jersey. But the best player in Orlando Magic history that's done more with the Orlando Magic it's 12, and actually it's not even close. It's really not even close. It's really not. But shout out to Trill for Super Chat love. Trill, be quiet, man. Trill, be quiet. If you want me to read something, because I'm not going to read that. If you want me to read something out loud, you're going to have to super chat. You're going to have to super chat if you want me to read that loud. I'm not about to read that. No, sirree, Bob. No. Remember, you a number 4 fan. You is a number 4 fan. You still over there in Cleveland. Like you said, you still over in Cleveland. But shout out to Trill for the Super Chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. But yeah, so there's never been a player legitimately in the MVP conversation except JJ back in 2012 until now. And not only do I think he's legitimately in the MVP conversation, he should win the MVP. Well, no, I mean, let me backtrack. I feel like he should be the front runner. And it's still a lot of football left to be played. It's still a lot of football. What, 8 games left to be played? So it's still a whole lot of football left to be played. Still a lot of football left to be played. But I think as it stands right now, he should be in the front run because the only thing that, like I said, is holding him back is the rookie because they can't even use the record no more because he's in the playoffs right now. If the playoffs start today, if the playoffs start today, the Texans are in the playoffs. Not only are they in the playoffs, the Texans have tiebreakers over the other teams that are sent out of the playoffs either by virtue of head-to-head or better conference records, not even just better overall records. Now, the one team that's sitting up there with the Birdman rub, like you know what I'm saying, like the Birdman hand rub is the Colts because the Texans lose. Now the Colts have the Colts have a tiebreaker over the Colts. So that's the team that's sitting there with, you know what I'm saying, with the Birdman hand rub, like, man, like they sitting back there peeking behind the corner type situation. So outside of that, but like I said, the Texans take care of their business. They ain't got to worry about the Colts because the Texans take care of their business versus the Arizona Cardinals, and backdoor take care of their business versus the Jags. They'll be pulling away. They'll be pulling away from the Indianapolis Colts because again they can't fix that to the last game of the season. So they'll be pulling away from the Indianapolis Colts. And I haven't looked at the Colts schedule. I do believe the Colts will start taking some steps back in the near future. So like all those things I think could and will end up balancing themselves out. I know the thing is the Colts, they got a bye week this week, so the Colts can jump if the Texans fall to the Arizona Cardinals, the Colts can jump the Texans by doing absolutely nothing. So that's why I say that's the team that's sitting up there doing the Birdman hand rub. But again, you can pull away from that. You be able to pull away and distance yourself from that very quickly if you do what you gotta do and take care of your business against the Arizona Cardinals and against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It doesn't stop there because the Denver Broncos and the Jets follow after that. Then you also have Browns next 4 games: Steelers, Broncos, Rams, and Jags. Uh, I think they're gonna lose to the Steelers. They might lose to the Broncos. Probably beat the Rams, and we'll see what happens with the Jags. Probably want them to beat the Jags, honestly. Even though I know we have draft priorities with them. Like I said, at this point, I'm not even worried about the draft. Honestly, like I'm worried about trying to make the playoffs. I ain't worried about the draft, especially when it's something that we can't control no way. Because another team has our pick and we have another team's pick. So it is what it is when it comes to that. When it comes to that situation. But this is the thing though. This is definitely the thing when it comes to it. Like you guys try to pull yourself away from the rest of the competition. I want to know what the rest of. I need to look and see what the Colts schedule is. That's a schedule that interests me because again, we can't. The Colts have beaten us. They have a tiebreaker over us, and we can't change that to the end of the season. But like that Broncos game, I feel like they can beat the Broncos. I feel like the Broncos can beat the Browns, and that makes that Brown game coming up on I think December 3rd. Very interesting. Like I said that when the Browns had beat the Bills, I'm like, hold on, man, the Browns didn't beat the Bills. I think that made them 4-5. I mean, now that game, they get them another dub. Now that game, they get them another dub, and so say they win up until they play against us, like that game, like say they win the next 2 weeks and we win the next 2 weeks. They only behind us by a game. The only thing the difference is that if we win the next 2 weeks, we'll be ahead. We'll be ahead in our division at that time. So the wild card doesn't matter to us. But you don't want to lose any momentum. You don't want to lose that momentum. So you still want to put yourself continue yourself in that position to win the division or at the very least make it to the playoffs. So there's some games coming. Like I said, we've gotten to the part of the season where that football is meaningful, and these games now are extremely important. And it hasn't been like that since 2019. Like it wasn't like that in 2020 because after the first 4 weeks of the season, our season was done. Like our season was done, and it wasn't getting no better. Obviously, the last 2 seasons, you didn't really have any real hope or really wanted to because you were looking towards the draft. We were looking towards the draft after week 1 every season the last 2 years. Now we're in a situation where we're not even worried about the draft, and the remaining games are very, very, very important from all different type of aspects. Most importantly, playoff and the division, but also making sure that CJ continues to be in this MVP conversation and continues to put himself in the forefront of the MVP conversation legitimately and actually be able to be the first Houston Texan to win the MVP. Like, we could have a lot of firsts. Like, the Houston Texans have never been past the division around the playoffs. So we've never been to a conference championship game, let alone been to a Super Bowl. We've never had an offensive rookie year. We've had 2 defensive rookie years. And D'Amico Ryans, who's our head coach right now, and also Brian Cushion 2 years later. Only rookie years we've ever had, both of them on defense. Never had an offensive rookie of the year. Our best shot previously would have been Deshaun before he got hurt. Dominique Davis won Pepsi rookie year, but it wasn't the official. Was it like NFL rookie year? This is voting by writers, so it doesn't really count. It's like another award type situation. Kind of like what they be doing, like what they be doing, like with the Nickelodeon thing, like the whole like Nickelodeon award type situation. Like if anybody wins Nickelodeon Player of the Year, nobody cares like that. Okay, it's cool. It's cool or whatever. Like it's a somewhat accomplishment, but it's not the accomplishment that people care about. That's not gonna go on your resume when you try to go and get in the MVP or you kind of get in the Hall of Fame. They bring up MVPs and stuff like that. So. Or awards. So we've never had offensive player of the year, never had an MVP. Have 3 defensive players, 3 defensive players by the same person in J.J. Watt. but never Offensive Player of the Year. Because Dre never won Offensive Player of the Year. I wonder why. My touchdowns, that's why. I need to see who won. I need to see who won Offensive Player of the Year back in 17. Not 17. I'm sorry. I need to see who won Offensive Player of the Year. Back in 2008, 9, 10. Yeah, those 3 years because Dre, I know one of those. I know Dre led the league in receiving back-to-back years, and one of the years he led the league in catching too. So he led the league in catching and in yards. But obviously didn't have the touchdowns because like I think he had 8 in 2008 and 9 in 2009. But I want to see who won Offensive Player of the Year because why Dre was want to see who won Offensive Player of the Year. I need to see who won Offensive Player of the Year that year. I need to see who won Offensive Player of the Year in 2009 when Stroud led the league in passing and also led the league in completion percentage as well. And I think he led the league in quarterback rating. I need to see who won Offensive Player of the Year those 2 years. And then in 10 when 10 when Aaron Foster led the league in rushing and led the league in rushing touchdowns and led the league in yards per game and led the league in total scrimmage yards. Who won Offensive Player of the Year those 3 years? I need to see because we've never had Offensive Player of the Year. And the Texans should have won Offensive because the Offensive Player of the Year you ain't gotta be no like Offensive Player and Defensive Player of the Year you ain't gotta make no playoffs. MVP, yeah, just like everything else, like rookie year and all the rest of that stuff, you ain't gotta make no playoffs. So I need to see why we ain't never Offensive Player of the Year in those 3 years. I need to look that up. Y'all gave me some homework because I need to see and look it up. Who won Offensive Player of the Year those 3 years? Like I said, we never had Offensive Player of the Year, never had an MVP, never had a Coach of the Year. Kubiak never won Coach of the Year. Be honest, Bill O'Brien should have won Coach of the Year in 2014. We've never had a Coach of the Year. Bill O'Brien, Gary Kubiak should have won in 2011 too. After you lose your quarterback and you have a third string rookie quarterback, you still win the division. So I need to see who won Coach of the Year. I need to look and see who won Coach of the Year those years and who won Offensive Player of the Year those other years. Because those awards, I need to see that. I need to not only see who won. I need to look and see the list and see how the votes went and see where our guys were put on these awards. So yeah, I got me some homework to do tonight. But yeah, I don't know and don't understand. Well, I understand. I'm sorry. The Texans haven't never put themselves in those type of positions before, and they have a shot now. I think that D'Amico Ryans is a real good shot to win Coach of the Year. I haven't even talked about that, but I think that he has a good shot. I mean, you do got Dan Campbell out there, but I do think that he has a good shot at putting himself to win Coach of the Year, especially the trajectory the Texans are on, and then obviously C.J. Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and possibly MVP. But they gotta continue on this trajectory right here. That's why the rest of these games are very vital and very important for playoff implications, for playoff seeding and standings, and also to get some awards and some trophies that the Houston Texans have never had previous before. I see more people coming in here, man. Hey, make sure you hit that like button before we go, man. Man, definitely, man. Hey, man, it's very, very important and very, very vital to hit that like button. So if you ain't hit that like button right now, man, I definitely appreciate it. You don't know how much I appreciate hitting that like button. It helps the algorithm so people find the video and see what when they see the likes, and also helps the notifications as well. The more likes and more views I get, the more comments I get as well. Like, it helps the algorithm so when I post stuff, more people see it. It comes to your TV. Sometimes you look on like, hey, such post a video. I didn't even know they posted a video. I didn't even know. I didn't even know they did this, they did that. Like the reason why is because the activity ain't been going how it normally goes, because the activity has to either always go up or be steady. It can't be up and down, can't be going down. So I need the likes, I need the comments, I need the views, those things like this. So when I post my lives, when I post my regular videos, when I post my shorts, those things pop up in the algorithm. And not only just y'all, people who are watching other fans, other fan bases, or other sports material, things like that, those things pop up as well. Because, hey, It helps feed the algorithm. Like I said, we still on the race to get to 6,000 subscribers. Very, very important. Really trying to get to 6,000 subscribers, especially before the year lays out. I'm less than 400 away. Less than 400 away. Got about a month, a little under a month and a half, or right around a month and a half. Because today's the 17th, so yeah, so right at a month and a half left for the year. And then if you want to extend it to the football season, want to extend it to the football season, I got a little bit more time to go as well. A little bit over a year to get to 6,000 subscribers, because I need to get to 6,000 subscribers. Because I got something I'm doing with 6,000 subscribers. But after that, I got something real special, something extremely special, jumping off after I get 6,000 subscribers. The next goal, y'all gonna love that. Like y'all, I promise you, what I got going on after that, y'all gonna love that. But we gotta get to 6,000 subscribers first. Once we get that goal, once we reach that mark, the following mark is gonna be crazy. Like the following mark and the special thing I got going on right there. I'm still got some things I'm putting to work exactly how I'm gonna do it. But the idea is crazy, and I know y'all gonna love that. It's gonna be something that y'all love. And also, hey man, make sure y'all be here on the live stream after the game. I think more likely we're doing a pregame on South Sports. You know, everybody on the round table. Shout out to everybody on South Sports. Shout out to everybody on the round table. I think we're doing a pregame before the game. After the game, you know, we breaking it all the way down right here on this channel. So don't be late. Immediately after the game, your boy pulling up live. So make sure y'all pull up. Y'all check out the live stream immediately after the game. We talk about, we breaking down the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever's going down. You're going to get the raw emotion, exactly how I'm feeling after the game. Y'all seen how I was feeling after CJ pulled off those 2 back-to-back game-winning drives in 2 straight weeks. You want to see more reaction like that? Make sure y'all pull up after the game. And I have an announcement. On Sunday, yeah, and that live. So don't forget to hit that up, man. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe. Man, shout out to everybody that pulled up. Definitely, really appreciate that. Definitely appreciate y'all coming. Y'all cutting time out y'all Saturday, y'all Friday night, or y'all Friday night to come kick with your boy. Definitely, really appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Appreciate everybody that comment, that like the channel. Everybody that watched and tuned in to the stream. Everybody hit the subscribe button. Definitely appreciate that. If you ain't hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate that. Also, thank you for the super chat love as well. Everybody hit the super chats. Definitely appreciate that. Y'all know how much that means to me. Definitely appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Definitely appreciate that. Y'all just don't know exactly what that means to me. You really don't. Y'all really just don't understand and know what that means to me. I definitely appreciate all that. Make sure you hit that like button. You like, you comment, you subscribe. Click that bell, get more videos. Make sure y'all pull up Sunday after the game on the channel. We check out the live, and I'll have my announcement somewhere during the live stream, depending on the beginning, end, middle, whatever. Because, you know, I'm going to be talking about the game, obviously. So don't forget. So make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you hit that comment button to comment anything. Especially after, if you're just not tuning in, you're just not getting in, man, go back and watch the rest of it. Good conversation. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you comment. Man, definitely appreciate all the love. I holla.